Hi guys, I'm Silverwolf and this video is going to be about Furbies for therapy. One of my subscribers, Isabella Bruce, was watching the petition that I did for my friend Julia about eyebows for therapy for people who have special needs and things, and asked which Furbies would be best and you know, in what way for people with special needs who want to have a therapeutic robotic creature around. So, we have one shout out today, and this might possibly be the longest YouTube name ever. Right, here we go. It's Peppa Pig, FTW, Mega Man and Star Vicky, FTL, UTTP, THDTC, VGCP, EDCP. So, big shout out to you. Right, so here we have a selection of Furbies. Now, I've chosen a Furby, not necessarily from every generation, but each one represents a Furby of each generation, because some of them, like this one for example, the 2012, 2013 Furbacker, they're all similar, so I just chosen one to represent all of those because they behave in the same way. So first of all we have the 90s Furby. Now for people with special needs who want something that's fun and talkative and everything, the 90s Furby is quite a nice Furby to have around. It doesn't move too much, it kind of rocks back and forth, so it's easy to hold. It's got soft sort of tactile fur, you can stroke its mane, and it's got, you know, different sort of textures on it, which is also really nice if you're that sort of person, because I'm quite a tactile person. I like things that feel good and different textures and stuff, so that's, you know, one positive thing about the 90s Furby. The 90s Furby is friendly, it's got a pleasant personality, it does learn and slowly speaks English, you know, over time. It starts off speaking Furbish but will learn English. It works fairly well. They do go wrong a little bit, but if you use yours a lot, like every day, chances are that it will just continue working. So for a little robot that's pretty much 25 years old, it's still very reliable. They also have all kind of different voices as well. You can get ones with higher pitched and lower pitched voices, and they say their name and everything like that. So I think the 90s Furby is really good for someone looking for perhaps a friendly, therapeutic little robot to chat to and have around. They can just sit on your desk or whatever, or on your lap, and they just sort of rock back and forth, and they tell you they love you, and it's pleasant, it's nice, it's friendly, it does enough so that it's not, you know, that repetitive, and I think that they're very good for, you know, people who perhaps have special needs or want something that's kind of reassuring. We're moving on to the 2005/2006 Furby. These ones are really chunky, they're good to hold, they don't move around too much, they're soft and cuddly, so you can actually hold it close to you and cuddle it. Some of them sing songs. I mean, Fuzzy Nub will sing a song, and they also can tell stories and things. They have voice recognition, so if you say "Hey Furby," the Furby will interact and you can talk back to it and things like that, which is also really nice. It kind of emulates maybe perhaps a bird, or, you know, something that will reply to you or respond to you. You feel like it's actually communicating with you as opposed to something that's just automatic. Again, they're very soft and tactile. They've got different textures and stuff, you know, on their ears. This one's got, he's got a fluffy bit on his head and a lovely fluffy tail, which the 2006 ones had. The only issue with these is they're quite expensive to buy. The rubber on the beaks can go funny as well, and their battery covers will break very easily. So you have to either do what I did, put like a screw and a washer in the bottom to hold the battery cover in if it snaps, or get a replacement. And the people who do the replacements, they do them sometimes, but then other times they don't, depending on, I suppose, how busy they are. So that's the downside with those. You will have to find one that's in good condition. The 90s Furbies are far more common, so if you want, you know, the perfect sort of Furby to keep you company, the 90s Furbies may be a better bet than the 2005/2006 ones. Next we move on to the very wacky personality changing series of Furbies from 2012. and 13 and 14. And was it 15? Yeah, 15 as well. These ones, they wiggle around a lot, so they may not be quite so sort of stable. They're okay if you've got them on the table in front of you, but if your hands are a bit shaky or anything and you're holding them, it may just sort of wiggle out of your hands and fall on the floor. They aren't quite as like hard wearing as perhaps Furbies before them. The ears can snap. The personality's changing. They are quite loud as well, whereas the other ones will talk and everything like that. They're not, oh my god, in your face, OMG, everything. You know, that these newer Furbies are a little bit wacky. So if you want something that's calming and brings you reassurance, these guys probably aren't for you. But if you love loud noises and something that sings occasionally and will react to music and, you know, things like that, then they're great, you know. They're also, the fur is very soft, and several of them have like different textured fur as well, so again, it's nice if you like, you know, various different textures. They're fairly reliable, I'd say. They don't go wrong massively. They've got LED eyes that light up and everything like that, but as I said, they do kind of wiggle around way more than the ones before, so you have to be careful when you hold them and stuff. So finally moving on to the Furby Connect. The Furby Connect, I love the Furby Connect. I love how soft the fur is, so if you love soft things and like to sort of like feel soft plush fur, they're brilliant for that. The ears are again slightly delicate, and once again they do kind of bend in the middle and wiggle around a bit, and they might, you know, if you've, like I said, if you've got sort of shaky hands or anything, they might be more difficult to hold. What I like about them is if you tilt them back onto their backs and kind of like rock them back and forth gently, they make soft sort of cooing sounds, and they kind of get sleepy, and that's very relaxing. Unfortunately the app and that is no longer properly supported with them, but this doesn't take away from the fun aspect of them. I mean, they don't sing all the songs that they used to or anything like that, but they're still very fun little kind of characters to have around. They're also very friendly, they're very upbeat, they're very positive, and they only have one personality, so they're less wacky than the 4 generations before them. And, you know, it's down to personal preference really, if you want something that's a little bit more like that sort of moves in your hands, or whether you want something that's a little bit more static and perhaps just the eyes and ears move, or that rocks back and forth like the 90s Furby. Or if you want something a little bit more realistic like the 2005/06 Furby. They all have, like, they're all kind of special in their own way, so it depends on what you're looking for. With like some sort of a therapy robotic companion. I think I've pretty much touched on every point here. It's again just kind of to help people decide if they, you know, can't have a pet for whatever reason and they want something that brings them like comfort, reassurance or anything like that. I did a video a while ago, which if I remember I'll link at the end of this one, which was for which Furby is best for people with autism. And I think I settled on good old Fuzzy Nub there, because he's soft and reassuring and quiet, and, you know, he's not suddenly in your face making loud noises. Again, you've got the sort of relaxing aspect of that. So I hope that people found this video helpful. I did my best. If you want a cheaper alternative, of course, to Ivo, which is like $3,000, then, you know, something perhaps like a Furby might be a way to go. And there are a lot of companies at the moment who are actually producing like furry little robots that mimic pets, especially for people with special needs, or maybe, you know, for like elderly people in retirement homes or something. Just something that's nice, that you can hold and, you know, brings you joy if you can't have a real pet. And I think that's great. So I'm keeping an eye on a few different places that are doing these. Some of them are quite expensive, but it's nice that they're kind of bringing in artificial intelligence to help people when otherwise they may have had nothing, you know? Anyway, I've rambled on for far too long, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more related videos, they're coming up below. Like I said, I'll try and link the autism one, if I remember, in one of the boxes below. As always, check out my New Monday and Etsy stores if you want custom plushies, or buy me a coffee on Ko-fi. The links are all in the description and it all helps. So stay safe, stay healthy and keep being awesome. This is Silver signing off.